Greetings, Aries and Aries rising. This is your Western forecast for 2024. When I start looking and examining the overall trends for the year, I'm looking first at Jupiter and Saturn. Where Saturn is transiting, which is transiting in Pisces now, once every 30 years, Saturn represents the work. Could represent your resistance. It's where you have to take responsibilities, have more accountability. The Jupiter is the reward for all the hard work. Jupiter is the growth, the opportunities. Saturn takes the opportunities and helps manifest them. Okay, so Jupiter, expansive, optimistic Jupiter, went into Taurus in May of 2023, once every 12 years, and it's going to be in Taurus until May the 25th, 2024. And when Jupiter, expansive Jupiter, is in Taurus, it's in the second sector from Aries or Aries rising. The second sector indicates money, your personal income, your possessions. This Jupiter will then leave your second house of income, leave Taurus, and go into Gemini, May the 25th, 2024 to June of 2025. Now, that in the third, when Jupiter moves into the third is more about communications, learning, writing, speaking. It's a more intellectual part of the chart. It also can deal with travel, and the third house tends to be more short distance traveling. But Jupiter is about long distance traveling. Jupiter is also about education, seeking knowledge, and the third house is also about ideas and learning. This is the third house of communications, also good for selling yourself in job interviews, selling your products. So it's, and then Jupiter every 12 years, impacting the third house from the end of May 2024 through June 2025, could bring a lot of growth and opportunity with sales or with learning and education. Now, Saturn is where we need to do the work, but there might be some resistance to the work. Saturn will be in Pisces from March of 2023 into February of 2026. But when Saturn is in Pisces, it's in the 12th house from Aries, or it's the sign prior to Aries, or that last sector, that shadow sector. This is a time in the positive of working hard to manifest along projects, developing projects for the future, like going to school, getting a degree, or doing, developing a new company, writing a book. It's all this behind the scenes development. It's also very favorable for doing a lot of inner work, because that 12th house, that shadow sector, can have a lot to do with what's hidden, what we're avoiding. And Saturn can bring up the fear, but Saturn can also help you do the work to face your fears and break through them. Now, before I go into the more detail with Jupiter and Saturn, and then we also have to look to the karmic north node transiting Aries, and opposite always the south node in Libra. And then this is a major transitional year with Pluto changing signs, Neptune at the last degree of Pisces, Uranus liberating Uranus is changing signs in 2025. So it's lots of big transitions. But before I start breaking all this down and giving some predictions of how this can impact you, if you enjoy these kinds of videos and would like to see more of them, click like and subscribe. And don't forget to click on the notification bell so you can receive the latest postings. And if you go into the description box underneath the video, you'll find a direct link to my website to book an astrology reading or to inquire about my 2-question offer. All right, so Jupiter in Taurus is actually going to be not exact, but within a degree, it's very close to being in harmony with Saturn this into January, February, maybe the beginning of March, but especially the end of January and February. It's not exactly forming a 60-degree angle. It's off a degree, but but you'll be feeling it. And this is very favorable economically for the world, especially with Jupiter in Taurus. Taurus is a materialistic money sign. Jupiter can be prosperity and increasing. That's that Jupiter increasing the economics. And into January, February, it's very close to be in harmony with manifesting pragmatic business Saturn. And the Jupiter is transiting your 2nd house of income, and the Saturn is in the 12th house behind the scenes developing a project or skills to be able to make more money in the future. But the first big prediction is Jupiter aligns with Uranus about every 13 years, which will happen on April the 20th, 2024. Now, Uranus is an 84-year cycle. It's been transiting through Taurus since the last few years, and then it changes signs into Gemini in 2025. Uranus is this liberating, rebellious energies, always looking to the future. Uranus can bring unpredictable surprises and breakthroughs. Just depends if Uranus is making more favorable transits or more challenging transits to other planets in the chart. And Uranus has been transiting through Taurus these last few years. So there's a lot of ups and downs and unpredictable energies economically for the world. For Aries, that Uranus has been transiting your 2nd house of income. And now, since last May 2023, through the end of this May 2024, a prosperous, lucky Jupiter is transiting Taurus in your 2nd house of income. So the Jupiter is finally going to catch up and align with Uranus about every 13 years, and this will be April the 20th, 2024. But you'll be feeling it all of April. Now, Uranus to Jupiter, sudden breakthroughs, sudden windfalls of money, sudden luck. That suddenness is the Uranus. It's out of the blue. Jupiter is all this opportunity. Maybe it's in all things Jupiter, maybe suddenly traveling, suddenly getting lucky in gambling. Now, that Jupiter-Uranus for the whole world can bring in some advancements in technologies, because Uranus represents technologies, computers, and science. Jupiter brings in the optimism, the prosperity. This Jupiter-Uranus conjunction, the alignment in April 2024, is in your 2nd house of income. And so for a lot of Aries risings, and we have to take into consideration other planets in your individual chart, but there's still going to be a strong potential for some real windfalls of money or promotion, a job, making more money, and this could all come in out of the blue. This is happening at 21 degrees of Taurus. So if you have a planet that aspects close to 21 Taurus, like opposite 21 Scorpio, or trining, this is the best flow of energy from Taurus, which would be 21 Virgo to 21 Capricorn, and some other aspects, you could be much impacted with this sudden luck and sudden windfalls. So that's April. Now, Jupiter goes into Gemini May the 25th, 2024, till June of 2025. And as I said, that could be really favorable for going back to school, for learning, for selling, traveling. But when Jupiter goes into Gemini, it's now forming a square or a hard angle of tension to Saturn. Jupiter wants to expand. Saturn does want to help manifest, but the Saturn, when it's in a hard angle, could be delaying and slowing down the promises of Jupiter. Now, the Jupiter will be in your third and of learning, and the Saturn continuing in your 12th of perhaps studying, preparing, behind the scenes development until the beginning of 2026. Now, Jupiter will be squaring or forming a 90-degree angle to Saturn in August of 2024. So the Jupiter wants to expand, and the Saturn is contracting or resisting. So there might be some real challenges with the Jupiter in the third house, with selling, with learning, with traveling. Now, let's look at some of the bigger pictures. The karmic north node goes through all the signs every 18 and a half years, going up to 19 years. And in July of 2023, it entered into Aries, going into your first house or crossing your sun sign until January 2025, about almost every 18 and a half years. So this is this karmic pull pushing you into your future. The south node is always opposite the north node. The south node's in Libra. The south node is where we need to readjust, restructure, or just let go, to help give the space to move through the north node into the future. That north node, all of 2024, because it changes that January 2025, but all of 2024, having the karmic north node in Aries, going through your first house if you have an Aries rising, going through your sun sign if you're an Aries, there's some kind of wanting to take the initiative, break free, do something independent, make your mark, more visibility. The opposite of what needs to be restructured is the seventh house, that the south node in Libra is in the seventh house of marriage, partnerships, contracts from the Aries rising or the Aries sun. So this could be some real challenges with all types of partnerships and contracts, personally and romantically. Now, 2024 is a major year of transitions. The planet Uranus, that is all about futuristic, liberation, innovated energies will be at the last degrees of Taurus in 2024. By the summer, by July 2025, progressive Uranus will move into Gemini for the first time in 84 years. So this is the last full year with Uranus in Taurus, wherever Taurus impacts your chart. And for Aries and Aries rising, it deals with your cash flow, your personal income. Neptune is this transitional, visionary, inspiring energy. Sometimes it can be out of focus, and sometimes it can create great insight. It just depends how the Neptune is impacting your chart. But 2024, Neptune is at the last degree of Pisces. And so as we go into the very end of April 2025, Neptune leaves Pisces and goes into Aries. And then we have powerful transformational Pluto that at the beginning by end of March of 2023, went briefly to 0 degrees of Aquarius, retrograded back into Capricorn the last half of 2023. January, February, it's back into Aquarius. But then later more by June through through November, it's back into a Capricorn. And then by November, end of November 2024, Pluto is back into Aquarius and will remain there for nearly 20 years, once every 243 years. The outer planets can really make life-changing changes in our lives. It can really make some kind of long-term permanent change. Now, the positive here for the world, because the world has been in a lot of chaos, a lot of it had been Pluto in 2008 going into Capricorn. Capricorn rules structures, government, corporations, and Pluto is that breaking down and transforming. But Pluto's moving into Aquarius, an air sign, more intellectual, and Aquarius is also about personal freedoms and democracy, that the Pluto energy for 20 years is trying to push that focus more positively. As Uranus is moving into Gemini in July 2025. Gemini is an air sign compatible with Pluto in Aquarius, an air sign. And Neptune is leaving watery Pisces and moving into fiery Aries by the spring or the end of April 2025. And Aries is a fire sign compatible with Pluto in Aquarius, an air sign, Uranus in Gemini, an air sign. So there's this big transition going on right through 2024, as 2025 is starting to push us into a whole new chapter, a whole new paradigm. And all those three outer planets are going to be in harmony with each other. Now, Mars, let's end it with Mars. Mars is ambitious, assertive, courageous energy. Mars is a 2-year cycle. The reason why I'm wrapping up with Mars is going retrograde, as it does every 2 years, December the 6th, 2024, until February the 23rd, 2025. Now, it's going to retrograde in Leo, which is 5 signs past Aries. Now, Mars will first enter Leo before turning retrograde on November the 3rd, 2024. And then a month later, it retrogrades till the end of February. Mars is all that drive and ambition, and it's in harmony with Aries and Aries rising. and it's highlighting your fifth house. Fifth house of romance, children, recreational activities. But the retrograde may be a time when all those areas slow down, get more delayed, more aggravating, because it's a time of maybe having to adjust those areas of the fifth house for Aries and Aries rising. I want to thank you for watching. If you like information on how to book an astrology reading or to sign up for my 2-question offer, visit my website at gardino.go. That's .co. Until next year, be safe and well.